guys, welcome back to the channel, and I wanted to make a quick video about my first impressions with Dying Light 2. I'm about a couple hours into the game so far. This is not my gameplay. This is actually by another creator under the name No Annoying Commentary. So I'm going to put a link for his channel down below, but I essentially just wanted to give you something to look at while I'm talking about this, because I'm still learning how to edit video and put it together with my commentary. So until then, I thought I'd try this. And like I said, No Annoying Commentary, put the link down below. Thank you so much for putting this out on the internet. But anyway, I'm very torn about this game. As you can tell by the gameplay here, this is running on a PS5. This is all captured on a PS5. The game so far is a bit of a hit and miss for me. I really enjoyed the first game. Dare say I loved it. Probably one of my favorite zombie games of all time. And playing this game, it just feels different. And not in the best way. It's so out of... It's all over the place. Really. Because... At first, I'm like, man, I can't wait for another experience. If they take everything they did in Dying Light 1 and then just bring it to Dying Light 2 with updating a couple things like the visuals, the zombies, how you can tear them apart with weapons, and update the parkour, that would be great. So far, though, one thing I've noticed, just some parts of this game feel like a step backwards in other ways, while some stuff feels like a step forward. I definitely think the story is quite a bit weak, featuring the main protagonist Aiden while he is searching for his sister. Now, fun fact, I thought the voice actor for this game was the same voice actor who did the previous main character, Crane, in Dying Light 1, because they sound so similar, but no, it's actually a completely different person, which is kind of funny that I thought it was the same person. Next, like I said, just the story just is not getting me. A lot of the characters just feel like they're forgettable. There's a couple characters that I like, though, right off the bat. Harkin, actually, yeah, I can't even remember his full name. But it's hard to keep my thoughts in order when I'm talking about this game. But I'll do my best. The combat seems worse, in my opinion. The weapons and the swings just don't have that impact. And this is even on the PlayStation 5 controller, which it has that haptic feedback. It helps. I feel like without that haptic feedback, though, I feel like I was hitting cardboard cutouts. It also feels like when I attack a zombie's limbs, it's not cutting off the limb as easily as it did in Dying Light 1. And the zombies just don't look as good. I've watched a couple of videos of stuff comparing the first two games, and to be all honest, there's a lot of technical downgrades in this game. Which is surprising because the previous game was a PS4 title, while this one is on the PS5 and next-gen software. And it just feels like certain things in this game, like the zombies for one, don't look nearly as good. It feels like they tried to make the zombies too detailed in this game, and it just makes them look very muddled and messy. Thanks, there's my cat here. The environments look really bland. They don't seem as lifelike as they did in the first one. And I'll actually put a link in the description down below of the comparison video. And when I looked at that, I was like, this can't be right. The game, certain aspects of the game, wildlife, foliage, water, even just the sun hitting the environment just looks better in the first game. Alright guys, so basically I decided why not I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a insight on what I was talking about with the game just feeling like it's a step backwards. And this is a clip from Game Best. So I'll put his link down below. But this is really interesting, actually. I'm going to try to... Hopefully me being here doesn't make it worse an experience to see. But yeah, check this out. Fire, yeah, the fire looks a bit better in the sequel. Lasts a bit longer in the first game, but looks a bit better. Healing animation for the sequel, it's a bit more detailed, which is cool. That's a upgrade, 100%. The first game, you just wrapped around a bit and then a flash of light. Okay, not great. Now this is interesting. Water physics. The water does look better in the second game, but I feel like the physics look better in the first. Zombies, okay. This... Yeah, like, the combat in the second game, it feels a little more janky. It feels like I can't kick as easily as I used to in the first game. And the zombies just... I don't know. To me, they look a little too muddy, you know? And then the first game here, I feel like the zombies looked better. They weren't so muddled down with detail like in the second game, but like that's the good stuff. That's that good stuff. You slice arm or a head off, that's good. Glass physics. Right. Okay, like right there. That looked better in the first. Like, you see the little water bubbles? Sure, it's murkier water, and then just like the whole, like going above and below the water. To me, that looks better in the first game. Yeah, it's murkier water, which you can expect. Not every lake is clear. To me, that looks better. The zombie bite animation. Yeah, looks... I can't talk today for some reason. But, like, yeah, they're nomming on you in the first game. And this is actually surprising. You can see in the second game, you have a stamina bar going down. And in the first game, you can just hold on. There's no stamina bar. So that must be entirely a second game thing to give you reason to upgrade your parkour and your stamina abilities. But you didn't need that in the first one. Huh. I don't know if I like that. I think the parkour mechanics are better in the second game. I definitely think that was like where the main amount of effort was put into. And I don't know, just the world in the first game looked better. Or looked more realistic in my opinion. Maybe when I'm just running past everything, it just looks normal. It looked a little bit more vibrant. I don't know. Am I crazy? Let me know in the comments down below. But then, oh yeah. I love the bow and arrow. It's great. But I think that's going to be where I end this little bit. Back to the original video I was making. It's very weird. I don't understand how this is 7 years later and the environments somehow look better in the previous game. The controls are a little wonky in this one, but after a little bit you get used to them. The whole exploration, sorry if I can talk right, is basically you want to constantly look for things to upgrade your character, like stats, weapons. it very much they marketed this as more of an RPG zombie slayer than the previous one was, and I can definitely tell that. In the first game, there really wasn't a stamina meter per se, at least not as in your face as this one is, because you really have to search for these containers to help upgrade your character's stats for combat and stamina. And you really feel weak in the beginning until you start finding some of these. And it took me a little bit to understand where to find these and how. And once I did, it's definitely made the game a bit more fun. But overall, I'm kind of there's so many glitches in this game as well. Sometimes a glitch will occur preventing me from completing a side quest, or even just like a random encounter that I find out there. Other times, characters act really dumb in like ways. Like, for example, I accidentally killed. Well, I didn't accidentally. I did kill him. I killed an enemy. What I thought was an enemy, pretending to be a good guy. All of a sudden, his friends come around and look at me, and they're all of a sudden they're like, must have been a crow, and just turn around, not realizing I was right there with my weapon still in front of their friend's dead body. That doesn't seem like smart AI. Other times, the AI will say weird things like, "Hey, stop looking at me," when I'm in the other room, and just like little things that just take me out of it. There's a lot of little things. Just it feels very unpolished, and I know that they're releasing patches and everything for it, but like I said, at the end of the day, it just feels very much unfinished. Even though it's been 7 years since the first game came out. In a lot of ways, I feel like this game is a step backwards. I love loot. I love loot-based games, and the fact that you can actually find loot to customize your character's appearance. But so far, everything I've found looks the same. You know, a slight difference, a very slight, like a color shade difference, or like, hey, there's got a little red line there. But it feels, I don't know. Maybe I was expecting too much 7 years later, and this being on the PS5, it's just, I don't know. I feel like it could have used a little bit more time. If not, I want to know how long they've actually been working on the game. It just and I guess some good things about it. The combat can be pretty fun fighting against human enemies, you know, with dodging and blocking. That's pretty neat. The parkour seems to have gotten a lot better, and I like that. Running and jumping around feels great. If it feels like that's what they mainly worked on in this so far in this game is the parkour, and the combat's decent. Like, I'll give it that. But I gotta see what kind of patches get put out. See if it gets really any better than this. But so far, my first impression is very mixed. I feel like it was not ready for release, and it feels like in a lot of ways the game is a step backwards visually. But who knows? Maybe it'll get better with patches. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for those who have been subscribing lately. It feels awesome that I'm actually getting some traction now on the channel. If you have any, I guess, what are your thoughts and opinions on this game? You know, is it everything you've been wanting? Is it a letdown? Did you even play the first one? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much again, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.